going on, everybody? We are back, starting
Anyway.
our fight Friday. You said words and you messed me up.
Wow. It's right there in front of you and you still can't. Wow.
We starting our Friday Night Fite App review thingy that we gonna be doing on the Friday nights. All of them, every single one except for like the ones that we don't do it on.
Does it deal with the Friday nights in the fight app though? That's why I know.
It do it go. So this is gonna be this. All the content is gonna be straight from the Fight TV app. So if you don't have the Fight TV app, you need to go download the Fight TV app because it's awesome and we're not sponsored. So, but I mean, if they want to sponsor us, that'd be cool. That'd be fine. We won't have a problem with it. But we are starting off with a documentary that we watched. It was a pretty good documentary. It was about it had to do with a little wrestling promotion that I think our good friends at DD underscore Amy underscore Miley MYLIE know a little bit about Absolute Intense Wrestling out of Cleveland, Ohio. We're reviewing Wrestling with Reality, which I thought was a pretty good little kind of short documentary. I think it was like a little bit over half an hour, like 31 minutes or something like that. But it did include Gregory Iron, Josh Prohibition, and Matt Cross, which is kind of cool, kind of, interviewing them. Any overall thoughts on the documentary?
I definitely liked it overall. I like the kind of the different topics that it dove into. Like being a fan and a wrestler, kind of some of the stuff that we had talked about with Frankie actually, which was pretty funny. Like what, like listening to this, I was like, is this our interview with Frankie or is it not? But I just thought it was pretty cool. I like documentaries. I think that's why I wanted us to start with one. Plus, it would be a little bit shorter than doing like a full-fledged pay-per-view this week. But I mean, overall, I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely love, especially documentaries like this where, wrestlers kind of just sit down and talk about how they kind of got into wrestling as fans and kind of, things like that, kind of stuff that you don't necessarily get to, see them talk about. But I definitely liked, I did like them kind of talking about the business and, talking about fans and marks and stuff like that. They also had a little bit of footage. It was kind of weird how they had it set up. I felt like where they would have like part of the interview from either Matt Cross, and then instead of going from Matt Cross right to Gregory Iron or Matt Prohibition, they would have like most of it was cool because it was like little like clips from their AIW shows, which was kind of cool. But I noticed a couple times they would go to the arena or wherever, whatever place they were holding the show, and it would just be like the fans just sitting there, and then they would go back to. I noticed that a couple times, and I was like, oh, okay. Were we supposed to see something? Did I miss something? What was that just an editing error? Like, but
I don't know if they did a good job of getting B-roll for this. Sometimes, like at times, like sometimes it was fine, and I was also surprised because sometimes I didn't feel like they let the video play over the interviews any, which you usually expect. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're saying. I get I get where you're coming from. I know what you're saying. Yeah, with the stuff and the yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like when you're doing an interview and over top of it you put the video, but you keep the audio from the interview going. so you don't have to focus on the person the whole time. You can still listen to them, but still watch what they do in the ring.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I like that they did that. The only thing I didn't, and it wasn't even something that I didn't like about the documentary. I just kind of wanted to see it be a little bit more about AIW itself. I felt like that was a little bit misleading to me anyway. I thought, they would talk a little bit about the actual company. And that's kind of a little bit of what I was expecting. Not that anything was taken away. Not that I didn't like the documentary, but I kind of wanted to see just kind of them talking about the company, or the owner talking about the company or whatever. Just kind of, if you didn't know anything about AIW, I just feel like you didn't really learn too much about AIW in this. You kind of learned more about the three wrestlers growing up and getting into wrestling, which isn't a bad thing. But I think if it's going to be produced by AIW, I would have like to have heard a little bit about the company, just to kind of get fans to go, okay, maybe this is something I should check out. But any thoughts on any of the topics that they went over, or anything you would have liked to have had added into this?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Like, I wish they would have talked a little bit more about the company. Like, it felt like it was more superstar centric per se at times. But I like kind of the topics, like talking about how they started, like as far as how they got into the business and everything. I always like that because I feel like different people get into the business in different ways, and especially since it's an independent company, it's a little bit different. It's not one of those things where, like, you know you're probably getting a lot of money for it anyway. So, like, I like when, I think they all might have mentioned this, but I think it was Matt Cross that talked about it the most. Was he was talking about, you know if you're doing this for like the money, that's probably not what you want to do, which I thought was nice. I loved when, I can't remember the other guy's name, but I loved I loved it wasn't Iron, it was the other guy, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Josh Prohibition.
Yeah, I think it was him. When he was talking about the aches and pains of bumping, how he would come home and, like, go up the stairs looking like an old man because he just it was just in vain.
That was Gregory Iron. I remember that.
Oh, darn it! But I did like that though. I thought that was pretty funny. But I thought it was funny how he said that, and then he was like, "But it kind of still happens now, like all the time anyway." So like nothing really ever changes. You just kind of get used to it. Um, I like when he kind of talked about the guy, because he called himself the guy with the disability. What was his name right offhand? Was that the same guy?
Yeah, Gregory Iron.
Yeah. Okay. I liked him. I like that he mentioned that he had a disability. I thought that was pretty cool because sometimes people don't want to, like, say that. I thought that was pretty cool. And then when he was talking about kind of knowing your role, um, and talking about how basically, not everybody, not everybody's gonna be like, everybody has different roles in the company. Not everybody's gonna be world champion. Not everybody's gonna be, this, that, and the other thing. You all have your own little role. I like that. I think he and Matt Cross mentioned that, if I'm not mistaken. I think. I love when when I think it was Matt Cross who talked about the smarks, talked about, like, fans not going to watch the shows to enjoy the shows, but going just to be fans. I mean, just to be like trolls or whatever. I thought that was pretty funny. Um, and I also like the being a fan and being a wrestler topic, where they were talking about how, like, it's kind of hard to be a fan and be a wrestler, sometimes, because you're always critiquing, you're always working. Frankie said that too. Frankie Flynn got an interview with that guy, actually, by the way, on the channel, so you should check that out. Anyway, cheap plug. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think, this is a good documentary. I thought it was nice. There was one more point I had, but I can't remember what it was anymore. I don't remember what it was anymore, but
Yeah, I definitely. All the points that you made, I definitely agree. I did like that they kind of talked a little bit about, I think it was Gregory Iron, or Was it Gregory that said it about talking about knowing your role? Yeah, knowing your role in wrestling. And he kind of talked about how Triple H said, if you're not in this business to be world champion, get out. Which I agree with, Gregory. Not everyone, and I feel like we talk about this, or we used to talk about this, especially in our Raw and SmackDown reviews and on pay-per-views and stuff. There are just some guys that aren't. It doesn't mean they're not good wrestlers. They're just not, main eventers. They're just not that world heavyweight champion material. Doesn't mean that they're not a good, mid-card title holder. There's not. Everyone has their kind of position in a company or in a promotion or whatever. And everyone can't be that top guy. So I definitely like that he talked about that and kind of went over that. And I also like how, these three guys kind of almost have, are in different, places in their career. It feels like, we had, Matt Cross, obviously. And I remember him talking about this too when I talked to him at that CZW show I went to WrestleMania weekend. How he's been traveling all over the world. After WrestleMania weekend, he was going to be going overseas again for a tour of different promotion stuff.
Where Matt Cross has been somewhere. Where I can't put my finger on it. Where's he been?
Son of Havoc.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Matt Cross is Son of Havoc, and he was on Tough Enough.
I think I saw him on Best Son of Havoc. What? I didn't know. What? I knew I had seen that man somewhere. I was like, where have I seen this guy? I cannot put my finger on it.
But yeah, I like, he's obviously, traveling all over the world. Gregory Iron is obviously, wrestling a lot in AIW. I don't know what other promotions he really works for, but I definitely like him. And then Josh Prohibition talked about how, he now he has, a full-time job as a teacher. He's married, he has kids and things like that. And now it's more to him, it's more of a hobby that he does, every, here and there on the weekends, whatever. And because he can afford to, he's not relying on it now. So I kind of like how they had different, aspects of, their where they are in their career right now. But any other thoughts before we kind of finish up this?
I don't think so. I just liked it. It was just a good, like you said, a good short documentary. Some of them are a little bit longer, others are shorter. It was just a good short documentary.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be doing this. Trying to do it every Friday. And we'll do different things off the Fite app. We'll do obviously other documentaries, hopefully short ones, because we don't want to watch like a 2-hour documentary and then have to review it, because that'll be hard. We'll do, different pay-per-views if they have any free ones, because, we broke and we can't be affording stuff all the time. And also I'm sure we'll do different, weekly promotions on there. If we see a good show, we'll review that week's show, because there are a bunch of really good promotions on the Fite app. I know DJ was looking through it the other day, and he was like, "What? All these are on there? What?" But yeah, we'll definitely be doing, different things. If anyone, has any suggestions, let us know. But until then, follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. Like the video, share the video, go down on the Fite app. Also do all the other stuff, the like and the subscribing to the channel. That's obvious. You should have done that months ago. Why are you just doing it now? Do it right now. But we will see you on the what do we have next? Can't even remember. 6-pack if we do one, because we're kind of doing that whenever. What else do we have coming up? I can't think.
205 Live. I don't like what is it? Yeah, it's Friday. That's
Wait, when
probably
is
like,
Backlash?
huh?
When is Backlash?
Backlash is next Sunday. Not this Sunday, next Sunday, 21st.
All right. So yeah, I think the next thing we have is 205 Live, unless we do something between then and now. But subscribe to the channel so you can see all the videos, and we will see you on the flippity. That is most definitely dippity. And if you don't know what dippity is, ask your parents or look it up on Google. I don't know what it is either. You can might tell us what you find. What I don't know. See ya.